Welcome to Novatech University's vertical training seminars for property owners. I'm Larry Bohumer. As mentioned, this one focuses on property management and different verticals that come off of it. We'll go into more detail on what it entails in a little bit. The goal here is to provide some basic information about this market, but we're not really trying to sell you on a particular product or service. Just a bit about Novatech. As the slide mentions, our mission is to help customers deploy IoT, or Internet of Things, solutions in many different ways. This may include providing flexible financial payment options, providing world-class pre- and post-technical sales assistance, and sometimes even include providing logistical services such as kitting to help customers ease the burden of deployment. Of course, we do this to make money, but we also do it to fulfill a vision, and that's to help customers figure out the complex world of the Internet of Things and how to use it to make their business better. There are many different kinds of properties, although they have similar issues. On the left, you see a list of different properties. So we include things like commercial, industrial, and retail property managers, and of course their owners. We also include residential business owners. And we even look at different campuses, whether that be a large college campus or a multi-building business campus. Seasonal properties are obviously a good area for IoT, and we'll explain why in a second. And finally, we talk about new building construction, and this could be anything from a new home project to a large-scale construction project. Although these kinds of buildings differ in size and shape, location, even what they're used for, they have a lot of similar issues among them. The first thing is expenses like heating, cooling, electricity, they're all very expensive, and it means that properties are expensive to run. It doesn't matter what kind of property you have. In some jurisdictions, governments have been mandating that buildings become more green. This is to reduce greenhouse gases and to use electricity, stuff like that. In terms of the building itself, whether it be run by a furnace, have a large HVAC unit, a boiler, whatever is on board in the location, they're all very expensive to replace. And it's one thing that the owners of properties want to do is to lengthen the amount of time that it takes to have to replace these. If you happen to live in a really hot real estate market, perhaps as an owner of a building, you don't have to do much to attract tenants. But in many markets, it's often a competition to see who can attract and keep the best tenants happy. Regardless of what kind of building you have, vandalism and theft, especially at new projects, may actually cost you money. But more importantly, sometimes they may actually put you off schedule depending on what your timeline is. Finally, you can't always be at your site if you own a property, so security is obviously an issue. As we mentioned, boilers, HVAC units, and other such pieces of equipment are huge capital expenditures, often into the hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars, depending on the building. You want to keep those running efficiently and for as long as possible. Using an advanced monitoring solution helps to better understand their usage, to whether they're working too hard or not hard enough, and to help to reduce costs, both capital and ongoing. If you have a temporary office, perhaps a show home or an office at a third-party location, remote office solutions help to keep your communications costs down and keep you in control, and they also do so while maintaining a very high level of security. Many owners want to know what's going on at their property. Perhaps it could be what temperature is, what is there water being leaked somewhere, how much traffic is going through in the case of a retail location. Simple monitoring solutions allow you to monitor these things and have better understanding for historical reference and when things are not how they're supposed to be. Finally, let's face it, people like to use their cell phones and Blackberries and iPhones and other devices. If you offer better coverage in industrial areas, perhaps in lobbies, wherever it might be, people tend to shop longer, maybe they'll eat dessert, you're going to have happier tenants. There really is no downside to having better cell coverage in all areas of your building. There's probably a dozen different benefits that you can get from an Internet of Things solution if you own a property, but here's a few. The first thing is if you green your building, if you want to use that expression, this will allow you to reduce your ongoing costs. The same will go for using a better monitoring solution as well. The next thing is if you improve customer service and have happier tenants, you tend to have less turnover and less churn in your building, and it's often very expensive to find a new tenant. When your staff, whether it be on site or at your office, has better information to work from, they tend to be more productive. The next thing is it's always great to get a longer return on investment on your big ticket items. As I mentioned, those HVAC units and other products. If you can make them last for 5, 10, 15, 20% longer, that can be a huge savings for you. And goes right to your bottom line. Finally, safety is key. And this is both from your image as well as from your liability standpoint. If your buildings are allowing people to feel safe because you know what's going on at all times, that's going to be safer for everybody, your occupants, your staff, and even yourself. Well, that's all we have for today. Look forward to having you attend one of our other seminars. Thanks.